All right, today we're jumping into a really fascinating chapter from the ancient text of Leviticus. And this one, it takes a turn you just don't see coming. It kicks off with these super detailed rules for sacred rituals, very orderly, but then it ends by laying down one of the most famous and honestly severe legal codes in all of history.
So that's the big puzzle, right? What in the world do rules about lamp oil and holy bread have to do with punishments for violent crime? On the surface, they seem completely unrelated. So why are they smashed together in the same chapter? That's what we're going to unpack.
Okay, so the first part of the chapter, it really paints a picture of a world built on perfect divine order. It's all about these super specific instructions for how to maintain a sacred space. Think constant reverence, total stability, everything in its right place.
And it all begins with light. The text is very clear. You have to use pure pressed olive oil for the lamps. And the words that pop up over and over are continually and perpetual. This isn't just, light the lamp and you're done. No, this is a constant, unending act of devotion. The whole point is to keep that sacred light burning forever.
Then we get to something called the bread of the presence. And the level of detail here is just wow. It's not just any bread, you can't just wing it. It has to be the absolute finest flour, baked into exactly 12 loaves. Then you arrange them in 2 perfect stacks of 6 and put them on a table made of pure gold. This is so much more than baking, right? It's a highly structured ceremony, and it all just hammers home this idea of a perfectly ordered universe.
And just in case we missed the point, the text actually calls these rituals a lasting ordinance. So what does that mean? Well, it's not a suggestion. It's a divine law, one that's meant to be permanent, totally unchanging, for all future generations. It's a whole system built on stability, on predictability, on perpetual order.
Okay, so we've got this beautiful, calm, orderly world. And then, bam! With absolutely no warning, it all gets shattered. We take this hard pivot from the quiet, sacred space of the sanctuary right into the middle of the chaos of a human conflict. That whole system of perfect order, it's about to get a serious test.
So the story kicks off with a fight. Simple enough. But the text is really specific about who's involved. You've got an Israelite man on one side, and on the other, the son of an Israelite mother and an Egyptian father. Now, that detail feels pretty important, doesn't it? It basically puts someone who's kind of an outsider right at the center of the whole mess.
Well, the fight gets worse, and the son of the Israelite woman does something that becomes the central crime of this whole story. He blasphemed the name with a curse. Now, you got to remember, in a world where everything, all the order, is based on reverence for the divine, this is like the ultimate act of chaos. It's a direct verbal attack on the very source of all that sacred order.
So what happens next is pretty revealing. The community doesn't panic. Their response is actually very procedural. The man is taken into custody, and then they wait. They wait for a divine judgment to come down. See what's happening. It's an orderly response to a totally disorderly act. And it all leads up to the entire community carrying out the sentence together.
But wait, the story doesn't stop there, not by a long shot. This one single verdict for this one specific guy actually becomes the foundation for a much, much broader legal code that's going to apply to the entire society. The judgment on one person expands into a universal law of justice for everyone. And here's what that system looks like. It's all about clear, proportional justice. If you kill a person, you're put to death. Simple. If you kill someone's animal, you have to make restitution, basically pay them back for the loss, life for a life. And if you injure your neighbor, you suffer the exact same injury. The punishment is designed to directly mirror the crime.
And this is where we get one of the most famous and maybe misunderstood legal phrases in history: fracture for fracture, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. This principle is known as lex talionis, or the law of retribution. The idea is simple. The harm you inflict is the exact same harm you have to suffer in return.
Okay, so let's just break this down. What's this new legal code really all about? Well, at its core, you've got this idea of proportionality. The punishment fits the crime, no going over the top. Then there's restitution for property, like that animal we talked about. But the really big ideas here are equal retaliation and, as we're just about to see, equal application of the law for everyone.
And this might just be the most radical idea in the entire chapter. The text says it outright. You are to have the same law for the foreigner and the native born. Think about that. Justice isn't based on who you are, where you came from, or your social status. The law is a single universal standard that applies to every single person in the community, equally.
So now let's circle all the way back to that question we started with.
Why put these two things together? Well, by doing that, the text is making an incredibly powerful statement. It's saying that the same divine authority that demands perfect, perpetual order in worship, the lamps, the bread, also demands that same kind of perpetual order in society. Justice isn't just some man-made rule. It's a sacred duty.
So why forge such a direct link between the sacred and the social? Well, it seems that in this worldview, a crime isn't just an offense against another human being. It's a disruption of the entire cosmic order. So justice, it's not just about punishment. It's about something much bigger. It's about restoring a sacred balance to the world. One eye for one eye.